Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS news for Friday, October 28. Jamaica's first liquefied natural gas (LNG) powered electricity plant will be fully operational in 2 weeks. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the gas arrived on October 22 and will power the Jamaica Public Service Company's 120 megawatt power plant at Bogue in St. James. Supplier New Fortress Energy has pumped $750 million into the construction of the LNG terminal.
By bringing LNG to Jamaica, this administration expects it will be beneficial to various areas of the economy. This is a great example of collaboration among government, regulator, and utility.
Mr. Holness was speaking on Wednesday during the opening ceremony for the 14th annual conference of the Organization of Caribbean Utility Regulators. The conference was held in Montego Bay under the theme Regulation, Creating a Spectrum of Opportunities in the Caribbean. And still on energy, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the Office of Utilities Regulations, OUR, is soon to receive a comprehensive report into August's all-island blackout.
Let me take this opportunity to inform you that the second report is due to the OUR by next Monday, and the OUR will determine sanctions, if any.
In an earlier report, the Jamaica Public Service Company had attributed that August 27 blackout to a procedural error. It followed another island-wide power outage in April, which was determined to have been caused by work being done on 2 major power lines in the 3 miles area of Kingston. Prime Minister Holness says the Light and Power Company has since moved to self-regulate its operations.
The government encourages the utilities to self-regulate. It makes our job easier, it builds confidence in the consumer, and so I want to acknowledge that we have seen moves by the JPS to correct their internal problems even before government makes a note of it.
Government is providing $1.1 billion to assist farmers in meeting a target of 1,200 hectares of production in the 2016-2017 crop year. The support is being provided under the Agriculture Ministry's Irish Potato Expansion Program. It takes the form of a $48.3 million grant and more than $700 million of input, including training and other extension services.
This training will include spraying, new planting techniques, and appropriate use of fertilizer to coincide with the 2016-2017 crop season. In addition, these measures will include utilizing the demonstration plots for proper land preparation, land husbandry, and pest management.
Minister J.C. Hutchinson says the goal is to increase productivity by 10% or 18 tons per acre. To support that, he says marketing agreements and contracts between farmers and buyers will also be strengthened. The minister was addressing a recent National Potato Growers Association seminar in Christiana, Manchester. Education Minister Senator Ruel Reid says the third tranche of tuition support to high schools will be paid to the institution's accounts earlier than the promised December deadline.
We paid the funds also on time for the first time in history, $1.4 billion in June. The second tranche was paid in September on time, and we had promised the next tranche in December, and that will be paid in the next couple of days, way ahead of time.
Minister Reid was addressing this week's post-cabinet press briefing. He told the briefing that the transition from a compulsory auxiliary fee system to the parent contribution model has been very successful.
Why the policy was so successful? Because even where schools were concerned that in the absence of this additional funding, we made sure we gave them additional funding for some key staffing that they required, and that also bolstered their overall funding availability.
Government's overall funding support for the education sector has increased from $2.5 billion to $5.5 billion for the current academic year. Education Minister Senator Ruel Reid has expressed shock and outrage following the murder of a Jamaica College student while traveling home on a bus Wednesday evening. While speaking with JIS News yesterday, the minister called on eyewitnesses to cooperate with the police.
The bus driver, the conductor, and all the other students or adults who were in the bus who would have seen this wanton and brutal stabbing of a young man, that we have to use this as an example for us to stand up and rise up against criminality.
The Education Minister is also encouraging students to use the public transport, such as the JUTC buses, as their primary mode of commute.
Cameras, as you know, are in the JUTC buses, not on the private buses. So this is why we are appealing to our students to travel on the safer buses. We know a lot of the criminals have not tampered with the JUTC buses that have the cameras in there, because they know they're being watched. They know that the identity can be ascertained quite quickly.
And finally, Cabinet has approved the appointment of Ministers of Religion, the Reverends Renard White and Harold Blair Jr., to complete the 3-member compensation committee that will investigate and determine claims brought by the aggrieved persons from the West Kingston operation in May 2010. Retired President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Seymour Panton, was previously appointed to chair the committee. Carleen Larmond, an attorney experienced in litigation, will serve as legal advisor to the body. The Compensation Committee will consider cases where claims had already been filed, those where preliminary compensation had been awarded by the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, and cases where no claims had been made to date but which may be eligible to receive ex gratia awards. Minister of Justice Delroy Chuck met with the members of the Compensation Committee on October 26, thanking them for agreeing to serve, as he outlined the nature of the support his ministry would give them during the period of their deliberations. The committee is expected to conclude its work within 9 months, as recommended by the West Kingston Commission of Inquiry report. Minister Chuck chaired the ad hoc committee of Cabinet that was established in June to review the Commission of Inquiry's report and recommendations. That ad hoc committee has completed its work and prepared a final report for the consideration of the Cabinet. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is to lead ministerial presentations to Parliament with an apology to the people of West Kingston and Jamaica. He will be followed by statements from the Ministers of Justice and National Security on the progress that has been made to date in the implementation of the Commission's recommendations. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.